Mizzle, first and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Double honor to the apostles. Peace and love to the elect on the four corners. This is a quick gemstone for your crown. Basically, don't lose. What was the brothers we said it was?
Don't lose patience. Let no man take your crown.
Let no man take your crown. All right, and be patient for the kingdom of heaven. Okay, because we come into these last days. Okay, and things are getting real hectic. Things in your household, things at work, at camp, amongst the brotherhood, etc. Okay, so the trying of your patience and your faith is heavy right now. All right, so hopefully this will be real uplifting. Quick, few minutes, quick couple scriptures to keep you in the spirit, man. And then I'm pass it to the next brother. Here you go, all right?
Revelations 2 verse 25. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
Go ahead, brother, speak, man.
Okay, break down, all right?
Go ahead,
So like, let me get
You
I
can.
know what we're doing. Revelations 2 verse 25. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. We have to continue in this truth. We have to do the works. We have to stay in the spirit. And those brothers that do that is going to get the kingdom. So that's part of the patience. That's part of holding the crown till we get that ultimate crown that Yahweh Shai is going to give us.
That's right.
Come on, that's right, man.
Brother, got the next scripture.
Go ahead, man.
This is 2 Peter's chapter 1. We're going to start at 4. It says, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises. What is the precious promises, man? The kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom of heaven, that's what's promised unto us. It says that by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. Because everything in this world is nothing but vanity, man.
That's right.
Lust, man.
That's right.
All of it's vanity, man. Nobody has to have an exceeding amount of money. All we need is our daily bread, in which we pay for, which we pray for, man. You know what I'm saying? Women, all these other women gonna come in the kingdom. That's part of the kingdom. A happy home. Everybody want that American dream here, but we gonna get that real dream. The dream that we supposed to be worrying about, putting our treasures upon heaven, man.
That's right.
It says, and besides this, giving all diligence, and to all diligence add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge. Because see, that's the part of the thing. You gotta build up your faith, And that faith, part of that faith is not knowing if you're gonna eat the next day, but having faith that you will. Having faith that the Most High will give you all that you need to endure, to be able to go out to the next week, to go and push out the truth.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to understand that whatever you need, that the Most High will provide, and so you can suffice the next day. You know what I'm saying? It says, and to knowledge, temperance, all right? And to temperance, patience. And to patience, godliness. Because even though we may get frustrated out in the highways and byways, we always gotta be patient with our people, man.
That's right.
A lot of these people, and of course, everybody got a different spirit. Some people not gonna get it just like that. Some people you gotta be real patient with, man. And
Like
they'll
a
come
child.
around like a child. That's right. You may have, just like the brother say, like a child. Some babies they walk at 8 months. Some baby walk at after 12 months. So we babies in this truth. Some people not gonna get everything the same speed as other brothers. So verse 7, and to godliness, brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness, charity. Because we must be charitable amongst each other, man.
Yep.
You gotta be brotherly amongst each other. Hey, this brother may be financially well off, and this brother may not. But some way, I gotta find that middle ground where your brother is good.
That's why you got a brotherhood.
We about to head into the winter. There's no reason why brothers should be cold
Yep.
if other brothers is warm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
We're supposed to be warming each other, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of example that Yahweh Shai left for us That's the sample of the kingdom that we have here. It's the brotherhood, man. That's that part right there, man. It says, for if these things be in you and abound, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Yahushua Hamashiach. But he that lacketh these things is blind and cannot see afar, and have forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. Understanding that that being blind to these things, you know what I'm saying? Like, this you have to have faith to understand, man. You can't say you faithful. You can't say that you love Yahushua if you don't love your brother that's right here. You know? And these are the things, these are the characteristics that was left to understand the example of a man that's really in his truth, man. You're not in this truth, you're being a nigga, man.
But I say this real quick too, brother. Love is an action, not just saying it.
That's right, bro.
When you loving the man next to you, it's the action. You can't say, oh yeah, I love this brother. Do your actions say you love that brother? That's how you really, prove that. That's it. You got it, Ken.
It says, you got it, brother.
Oh, and it's not only a physical action, it's also spiritually action too, by praying for the brother.
Right.
You always say that.
Bring this out real fast. Verse 10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, you shall never fall. So if you know you're doing the right thing, don't let nobody take your crown from you, man, because you trying to go to get that crown, man. You know what I'm saying? Being charitable. That's the church. It said charity covered multitude of sins, man. So what's wrong with being charitable? Don't have nobody tell you, yo, why you being too charitable? Why you giving that brother this? Why you doing this? Why you doing that? You know? Because that person was hungry, so I fed him. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, bro.
Yeah, you giving your life is the greatest love, man.
Exactly. Sacrificing, taking a bullet for that brother. For that. Yo, and even if a brother actually took a bullet for another brother, you gonna have people in the world talking about something. I don't know why would he do that. He got a family. Why would he take a bullet for somebody? He got a family. Because that's the real sincere love, man. You know, Yahushua did that for us, right? That's
the whole clip.
Hey, I got something just to go off of what you were saying, basically. Same book, 2 Peter's, but like that, like the Jew that word. But here's 2 Peter 3. We start at 8, because we was talking about patience. It says here, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord, out of 1 hour, as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. So if the Lord could be that patient to where 1,000 years is one day to Him, then our life is nothing but we're really dust and ash, and nothing really should be that big a deal to us, because we're not even gonna be here that long. Some of us not even. First of all, we're not even looking to die, so we're gonna be trying to live forever if we get saved by Yahushua. So we should be able to have long suffering in this world that we're in right now, in this life that we're in right now, especially if we're looking for a kingdom of eternal glory and greatness.
That's right.
So right here's verse 9. Because Yahweh is not slack concerning His promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. So it's saying here that the Lord Himself is long suffering. So if the Lord is long suffering, why can't we be long suffering? Like Makazak just said, he just said that we should be long suffering to our people. Why? Because like Philippians 2 and 5 says, it says, let this mind be in you, which also was in Hamashiach Yahushua. So we can have that mind in us that Yahushua had, then that means that we should be able to be long suffering to our people, and that we should be able to sacrifice ourselves for our people. So
yeah, that's right.
Go ahead, Mama.
Got 2nd Ezra 2 and 45. And he answered and said, matter of fact, I'll
start at 42.
Start at 42.
Yeah, that's the spirit. That's the scripture I was thinking of.
I saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all of the rest. And upon every one of their heads he set a crown, and was more exalted, which I marveled greatly. And that's what we're waiting for in the end, to have this crown set upon our heads. That's what it's all about.
That's right,
Not
brother.
only us, we want to have our families, wake up the elect. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These are they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of God, Yahweh.
That's right.
Now are they that crown and receive the palm. All right, so that's what we're here for.
That's
why we're
right.
doing this. So we can receive that crown.
That's right.
Go ahead, Corey.
You got any meat on it?
Let me see it. Bring out Revelations 2 and 10 too, before we close out. Whenever.
Yeah, got one scripture.
Right.
We can do Revelation.
Yeah.
Romans 5,
That's good, yeah.
verse 1. Therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with Yahweh through our Lord Yahweh Shai, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand and rejoice in hope of the glory of the Most High. Faith is looking for things to come. That's basically patience. To have that access to that. And it goes on to say, verse 3, and not only so, but we glory in tribulations, also knowing that tribulation worketh patience. So when we go through these things on the side, knowing that we're going to go through them, that builds up that builds up our patience. That's when we're fighting our demons, when we're seeing other brothers' demons, we're praying for them. That's building patience to know that our kingdom is almost here.
That's right, brother.
And verse 4, and patience experience, and experience hope. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of the Most High is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, which is given unto us. For when we were yet without strength, in due time Yahweh Shai died for the ungodly. For scarcely for a righteous man will one die, yet peradventure for a good man some would not dare to die. But the main point I wanted to go into is just that tribulations are going to bring upon patience. I'll pass it on.
Yeah, right. It's the book of James, chapter 5. Start at verse 7. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. And that's the time that we live in, man. Mind you, James was talking to the brothers back then, over 2,000 years ago, to be patient at that time. Even more so, we have to be patient now. We had the last laugh. Okay, why? Because the Lord compared us to what? A husbandman. It says the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth. If you know anything about farming, planting herbs, planting crops, it takes a process. You can't just put the seed in the oil in the soil, throw water on and put it outside, and tomorrow you expect to have a tree. No, it sprouts little by little, and after the stem grows, then the leaves grow, and after the leaves grow, more stems grow, more leaves grow. Then it becomes bigger and bigger. It becomes fruitful, and that's how you're supposed to be in its truth. That fruit, which is what everything that we labor for, which is the kingdom, which is the women, having our children, having slaves, having gold, silver, being able to rest, being able to sleep, and have to wake up and go out and go bust our ass and feed our families. These are the fruits that we're working for.
That's
the crown
right.
of life. All right, to have the laws written in our hearts so that we never go off, so that we never offend a brother, so that we can teach our seeds when they come up, so we can put the heathens in order, so that the whole earth be established properly, man. And it says what? And have the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it until he received the early and the latter rain. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts. Okay, that's what we have to do on this. We have to establish our minds. Our mind has to be single. Our eye has to be single to the truth. Okay, yeah, we understand we have to play a balance as we live in the world, but we got to be more towards the kingdom than on this side. Some brothers still got that fleshly lust to where they care more about themselves sometimes. They care more about their appearance, how they look, how people perceive them, or how somebody talks to them, or how they need to talk to somebody, instead of worrying about, well, you know what? How do I please the Lord, man? How do I please my brethren? How do I make up for all my sins, not from this life, but also my past life? Because I ain't shit, and every single person on this earth ain't deserving to wearing the crown. You know? And read on, and it says, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. That means the coming of the Lord is right there. It's already here. It says, grudge not one against another, brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold, the judge standing before the door. Okay, so even in your household, we shouldn't be fighting over it. Amongst camps, amongst the brotherhood, and honestly, amongst the whole nation of Israel. That's because we know the truth. Don't mean we got to treat everybody outside the truth because they can't get it as fast as we want them to get it.
Wish death upon them and their family.
Yeah, don't wish death upon them and their family, man.
Hebrews 12, peace with all men.
That's right, brother. Be peace, old man. You can't be quick to put up curses. Shalak, all this. How about you put up a prayer for that brother first, man?
That's right.
You're cursing that demon. Maybe your prayer might lift the demon off that person, man. Come back next week. Look, brother, y'all saved me. I don't know how y'all did it, but after I curse y'all out, something happened to me. Now I'm here, man.
And you get blessed for that.
You know. So the Lord said, "What? Grudge not one another, but your brethren." You got to remember that other people in Israel, they are our brothers too, man. Because we don't know who's 2/3 and 1/3 in the elect right now. That's why we have to walk circumspectly, because you don't know who you might offend. And it says, verse 10, "Take my brethren, the prophets, Jeremiah, Nehemiah, Ezra, so on and so forth. Take the prophets, for who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience." Because if you go into the scriptures, you see the things that they had gone through. In those times, in the Babylonian captivity, Assyrian captivity, so on and so forth, during the Roman captivity, we ain't experienced shit yet, man. Okay, these people, they were getting stoned on a regular basis back then, man. We ain't seen nobody get stoned for standing up for the Lord today. Paul witnessed that with Stephen. That's what James said, remember the prophets, take them for an example. Because they was very patient with the people. And some of them went out there by themselves. One or two brothers out there preaching. You got brothers out here, you squat deep and you mistreating one another because of what your flesh feels. Okay, and that's you letting your crown get taken away from yourself. You know?
That's right.
Now, to finish this off, it says, but we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, which Job, that whole book is a great example of patience and having faith in the Lord. The Lord took everything from what somebody already had it. It's like a lot of brothers might already had everything in this world before they came into this truth. And because they catch a little bit of hell, they start to, question whether they should be charitable to brothers, whether they should do more for brothers. Well, I ain't picking that brother up today, man. Fuck that. They ain't give me gas money last week, so I ain't doing shit. Why? Because you thinking about all the things that you lost in the world. Not knowing that if you endured through this madness that we're going to go through, by pushing the name of the Lord, like the brother Amawan read in the book of Ezra, okay, you're going to receive the crown of everlasting life, immortality, by enduring through this BS, man. And it says, and have seen the end of the Lord. The Lord is what? Pitiful and of tender mercy. And that's how we have to be. Okay, in hindsight, we have to be, when you look back at all your actions, we got to constantly look at it, what we did yesterday, day before, last week, and say, damn, was I merciful then? What can I do to make myself be more Yahweh Shah like today and tomorrow while we still here? And with that, I'm going to pass to the next brother, man.
Bring out Revelations. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
Start at 9, Baba Kusha.
Go back to 9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Talking about the real Jews, all right? The brothers that are out there, because as a nation, we out there, we're in poverty, man. We're in poverty, our works, because you got people that are out there really diligently out there, doing work. It said, but thou art rich, because the whole nation gonna receive the kingdom. Even 2/3 gonna have to be put away, but and the 1/3 gonna be saved out of that number. But we're gonna get the kingdom of heaven. And the scriptures say what? And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews
and are
not, but are the synagogue of Satan. And you know those imposters, man. We say it all the time, those fake Jews, man. Broad cap wearing, telephone cords in front of their ears, man. They're not the real Jews. Everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? And people need to wake up to that. If you still saying that they're the real Jews. Yahweh Shai right here is saying that out of his own mouth. They're not the real Jews. They're the synagogue of Satan. And it says, verse 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. That devil's talking about the so-called white man, because spiritual demon Satan's not going to grab people up, handcuff them, throw them in a FEMA camp himself and do the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? No, it's talking about this so-called this damn devil in the system, man. It's gonna cast some of you into prison so that you may be tried. That tried is being tested. You're gonna be tested, man. You're gonna be tested, all right? So if you're not ready, prepared for the test, and then brother bring out beautiful scriptures, man. That's the character. That's how you gotta be to actually be prepared for that test. You know, it says, and you shall be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death. You know, good precept. You Ecclesiasticus 4 and 20. Fight for the truth unto 24 and 28, I believe. It says, fight for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're supposed to do. So rather we die in this truth, the Lord's gonna avenge our deaths, man. We're gonna be avenged. It says, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. The brother brung out an address, man. Actually having a crown placed on the head. You know, through spirit, you had a crown right here, but that crown of life, that's going to trump all the tribulations we had on this side, man. All the women that played us, all the demons that walked past and talk shit about us.
Eyes have not seen or ears heard.
That's right, man.
All the affliction,
all the
infirmities.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a light affliction once we get that crown, you know? And all those curses that are on us going to be upon the other nations, you know? And we give them double that they give unto us. Everything that happened on this side is going to be a light affliction, man. So those little pity, you know, those little riff-raffs you have with one another, man, throw that away, man. You don't need that. Don't let nobody make you different. Don't let nobody take away what you trying to do. You know, it's through the spirit. Don't let no one take your crown, man. Just keep striving. Keep being charitable, brotherly, man.
Y'all do me a favor, read Revelations 3 and 9 too.
Con.
These devils gonna bow down to the real kings.
Revelations chapter 3 verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie, because they're lying. All right? Those broad cap wearing, telephone cord in front of their ears are lying, man. And they run the world. Imposters, man. They control Hollywood, the TV, see on TV, the movies, the music industry. You know what I'm saying? The slaughterhouses where they slaughter the food. They saying everything kosher when they gonna say pigs are kosher. How you gonna have kosher swine? But you supposed to be keeping the commandments. You supposed to be the chosen. Nah, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship thee before thy feet. And know, all right? Realize. They're going to realize that I have loved thee. So they're going to realize that Yahweh Shai, the King of the Jews, really loved us. You know what I'm saying?
This whole time.
We got time for one more?
Yeah.
Let me get 2 Corinthians 12 and 7. All right, it says, and lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. So the reason why we go through these things is because if we didn't, we would be high-minded, we'd be exalted above measure, and we wouldn't understand humility and meekness and patience. So let me go on to 8. It says, for this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it may depart from me. So Paul prayed to the Lord that Satan might come off of him, that he might be able to abound in this world finally, and without always being, abased and whatnot. And then he said unto me, and this is in red letter, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. So Yahweh Shai answered him and said, my strength is making you perfect through your weakness. So the reason why Satan is on us, the reason why we have to go through what we go through is that we become strong. So it says, most gladly, therefore, I will rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, and reproaches, and necessities, and persecutions, and distresses for Hamashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Because when I'm weak, I have Yahweh Shai Hamashiach there for me. So what else can I actually need? What else can I actually want? So
close it out, brother.
Yeah, that. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And remember, let nobody take your crown. We're in this for the crown of life. Okay, we in this so we can reign with Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? Alright, so we can bring peace to our nation. Right, so we can get up out of this captivity for once
Be happy.
and rule this earth how we were meant to rule in the beginning. So with that, stay strong, stay faithful, stay in the spirit. Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Shalom.
Repent, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.